At this time, the chair would like to recognize Mr. Gonzalez for 5 minutes of questioning.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you everybody for being here today on this incredibly important topic. To Mr. Ziriak and Mr. Kelly, you both have unbelievably important and critical jobs in securing our democracy, and I thank you for your service to your states and by default to our country. We in Ohio have an outstanding Secretary of State in Frank LaRose, and I share Mr. Ziriak's opinion that I have no interest in dictating to him how to do his job. I trust him. I voted for him, as did many Ohioans, and I think it's our responsibility at the federal level to empower you to do your job as effectively as possible. And specifically, one area where I think we can do a better job at the federal level is helping on a cybersecurity standpoint. Dr. Benelo, I want to start with a question for you. One thing we hear on the Financial Services Committee, on that committee and across industry is if you don't believe you've had a cyber attack, it's because you're just not aware of it. Would you share that opinion?
I think that's a reasonable adage. I'm sure there are exceptions to that, but not having seen an attack does not mean that an attack did not happen. That's certainly true.
Absolutely. And then I guess my follow-up then for Mr. Ziriak is, with that in mind, how can we better equip you? How can we better prepare you for the coming election and going forward from a cybersecurity standpoint?
Thank you for the question. In my opinion, continuing the federal partnership that we have locally is something that is going to be very helpful. I know that our local FBI field office, local Department of Homeland Security officials have been very helpful, whether it's sharing intelligence, whether it's providing physical security assessments, and I think making sure that those functions are funded and perhaps staffing is expanded. There are only 2 U.S. Department of Homeland Security officials, I believe, in the entire state of Oklahoma, and one of them is attached to our State Fusion Center. You know, for me personally, I think making sure that funds are available, and not just funding, but the expertise and resources are available to election officials to help us secure our own systems.
Thank you. And Mr. Kelly, same question.
Yeah, yes, sir. Similar answer, but I would tell you that in California we have 58 counties. Most of those counties have not taken full advantage of all of the services that DHS has to offer. I've done that in Orange County, but I think additional resources for training and pushing those resources out is very important, and the backlog because it's taken a little bit of time.
Got it. And then switching to VVSG generally, and then 2.0, Dr. Romine. It strikes me that one of the hardest parts of this is we are playing an asymmetric dynamic game, essentially, right? You're only as good as kind of the last test that or the last set of guidelines that you've articulated, and the hackers are always kind of one step ahead. And so with that in mind, I guess how should we think about updating your mandates from a VVSG standpoint to make sure that we are ahead of the game, or at least not, you know, in this world where we're doing it every couple of years? It seems like we'd want to be continuously updating this information.
Thank you for the question. I think you've just articulated one of the reasons why the high-level principles approach to VVSG 2.0 was the way that we felt most comfortable, because at the high-level principles, you're not necessarily, the principles are carry through changes in technology more than very much more specific guidelines would do. And it gives you the opportunity to frame how you can secure the systems at a higher level.
Great. Dr. Benelo, same question.
Yes, I think the high-level principle and guidelines are very valuable, and they afford the opportunity, if it is taken, to formally adopt just the high-level principles, which are far more enduring, and allow administrative revision of the detailed requirements of the VVSG to be made and adjusted as necessary over time to accommodate changing circumstances.
Fantastic. Thank you, and I yield back.
Thank you.